12 even. Boom. I did it. Somebody said I did. Well, sorta. You gave me a hint, and I took it and ran with it. Oh yeah. Oh fuck 'em. You guys hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Please tell me you hear me. You heard Marvel. They heard Marvel. Yay! Can you hear everybody? Oh, no. No. Guess who's back? Back again. I hear it. Who's got it? Okay. Just Marvel. Okay. I'm working on it, guys. I'm new at this still. Boom. Yeah. Okay. We're working on it, guys. We so are working on it. Yeah, I'm trying. Give me a second. All right, so just so you guys know, we're working on it real hard. Okay. My meat settings? In here, like? Okay. Everything's... That's all I get. That's all I have. Okay. OBS? Settings. Audio. What? No, no. Boom. Yeah, the speakers aren't lighting up. I hate doing that, though. Okay. Too big. Yeah. Audio. What about output? Okay. Yeah. That's supposed to be here. Boom. Boom. Now say something. Nope, that's not it. Fuck. I'm not a patient person, I'm sorry. What about this one? Right here. Whatever. Say something now. Damn it. Here maybe? But they're all... Okay, what? Scroll down where? Oh, okay. Hotkeys. Yeah. Monitoring device. Should I put here? Boom. Speakers? Speakers? But I'm not using my speakers. But I'm not using my speaker. Oh.
Hello? Hello?
Can they hear us?
Yes.
We got it back? Wait, the speakers still aren't lighting up.
Here they are.
This is what Radical didn't understand when he was helping me yesterday. The mic aux is what's lighting up, not speakers. Can you guys hear us? As long as they can hear us, I don't care.
Can you hear us? Yes, we hear you all.
Oh,
Okay.
I love you guys so much. I missed you. Did you miss us? All right, Schrodinger, are you still here even? I'm sorry.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Your beautiful
Okay.
voice is back. Your dulcet tones. I'm so sorry, guys. This is incredibly mortifying. So let's get back. All right, everybody mute but me and Schrodinger. Let's get back to the nitty gritty. Thank you so much, Robert. You saved our lives. Okay. So we were
You're
talking.
welcome.
We were talking about my hero. We were talking about your YouTube. What made you say? You said you saw the flat Earth. And you said, "Oh my God, these people are serious," right?
Yeah. So I made some videos. I don't know where the audience stopped hearing me. Um,
This is a
but
good place to pick up from.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I made a few videos. Um, I did one that I'm particularly proud of, where I took a pizza stone that's, as perfect a circle as I had in my house,
Mm.
um, and measured that with a um, well, cloth tape and uh, calculated pi out to 3 decimal places and got it right. So I made a video about that, just how to actually measure pi instead of just calculating it through rote mathematics. I did another one that I'm super happy about, where I took a gunpowder scale that's super accurate. I think that gunpowder scale went up to like 4 decimal places. I weighed a 50-gram reference weight in Virginia and then flew here to Honolulu and weighed it again and proved that the centrifugal force of the Earth spinning changed the weight of it, basically as evidence that the Earth spins.
Okay.
And so I spent about a year struggling in the flat Earth realm.
Yeah.
I got up to about 800 subscribers. I was doing pretty good on, I was known in the community.
Well
Some of the
respected.
bigger channels
Yeah.
knew, yeah, they knew who I was. They would let me on their live streams. I would get into little debate skirmishes here and there. Um, but I had the debate with Flat Earth Fokker um, and a few others. I was on Non Sequitur a few times. Um, and then I debated Marilyn Spirit Level, who's this nutwing.
Incredibly crazy lady. Yes.
Yeah, I call her the crazy cat flat Earth lady. I'm sure that she has 50 cats. I'd be amazed if she doesn't. And at the end of that debate, I made this declaration that, you know what? I've debated four of you people, four flat earthers. None of you can bring anything to the table. You show up empty handed. You let me pound on you for an hour and a half, and then you go away and declare victory. I said, you know what? I'm leaving flat earth, and I'm going to go over and deal with sovereign citizens and First Amendment auditors.
Which was a
The
really
very
good choice.
in retrospect, it was the very first sovereign citizen video that I made. Remember it like it was yesterday. I was in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, at the Residence Inn because I was on a job out there. I uploaded it, and within a day, it had more views than the most popular video that I had ever made.
Wow.
Um, and uh, within, I think, 48 hours, I had passed 1,000 subscribers, something that I had been trying to do for months and months. And so I said, well, if it worked once, let's do it again.
This is the place for me.
So I started making more videos about this stuff, and that's when the channel took off. And believe it or not, I think most people wouldn't. I wouldn't if somebody told me this story. That was almost precisely a year ago. And in fact, it wasn't quite, we're still in January. That was not 1 year ago from now that I passed 1,000
Wow.
subscribers.
To
Yeah.
40,000. Holy crap.
42. Don't get it wrong.
Oh, damn. I am so sorry.
Cat is a
42,400 last time I looked.
cat's
Oh,
a subscriber whore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it took off. It was insane. So
Yeah.
I was like, the whole thing with flat Earth was dying. It's still dying.
It's
And
dead.
the really big, well-established channels, um, can still, make something off of that. And I still watch all of them. I still watch Simon Dan. I still watch all, everybody is making flat Earth content. I still watch all the debates. It's still super interesting to me. It's just that, as I said at the end of my debate with Marilyn Spirit Level, there's just no meat left on that bone for somebody that's not really dug in and has a fan base.
Yeah. But the thing is, that's how we met. I mean, and that's how I found out about you, because we both started Flat Earth. Same with Radical. And it's just, last night I happened to watch McToon's latest, I guess latest debate a little bit.
Yeah.
And I realized that's why I ran. I didn't walk. I ran away from Flat Earth, because you can't talk to they're worse than the Moors to talk to. You know? They're worse than Moors. They're as arrogant, but even more delusional, I think. I don't know. It's kind of hard. They're worse than Slavsits. I don't know if they're worse than Moors. But it's just, you can't, they don't, I don't know. It's classic
Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah.
You're really, really ignorant and really
arrogant,
super confident.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, it's arrogance times confidence.
And they don't know how to act.
To the power of 12. Yeah.
No manners. They can't have a civilized conversation.
Oh, that one Jason guy. Is that who you were listening to?
He looks like a wannabe Wolverine.
I think they called him Fred Durst.
Something like no.
The guy with the hat.
No. This guy was water finds its level, something like that.
Oh, maybe I didn't hear that. Was he English?
No. He's some basic Italian guy, very basic.
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
Hispanic, maybe, I don't know. It was just recently on McToon's channel. He had tweeted it out or something.
Can I say something real quick?
You go ahead.
I absolutely hate that water find its level bullshit.
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I just want to smack them over the head with a science book every time they say that.
But that's the name of his channel, basically. So
show me around water. Show me water curving.
Yeah.
Okay.
All over.
Throw a water drop at him.
But you decide to leave Flat Earth and come to my beloved Southsit genre.
Yeah, and that's when the channel took off.
Blew up, dude. You're blowing up.
Yeah, I'll admit that. Yeah, the channel blew up, and I can't explain it. A lot of people have asked me, like, what did you do? What did you, how did it happen? I think I just won the algorithm lottery. I honestly do.
Well, you put out good content, and you do it regularly, and people appreciate that. So hey, you deserve it.
Yeah. Well, one thing that I do is, for every 10-minute video that my audience sees, there's probably 3 hours of me looking for content, because I don't want to make a video about just anything.
Right. Yeah, we've talked.
And a lot of times, to the people listening, when you don't see a video from me for like 4 or 5 days, it's just because I haven't found anything that I think is worth making a video about, because I'm not just going to put a video out and have the audience say, well, I'll watch it, maybe it's going to be good. I want people to know when they click on my video, it's going to be good.
Right.
So that's one thing that I think maybe separates me from some of the other content creators. Even though, a lot of the content creators out there, put out great stuff each and every video. But I want to be almost certain that at the end of the video, I'm not going to get a bunch of comments saying, this was boring. What was your point?
I saw it on 3 other channels.
Things like that. Yeah. Yeah, if Van the Man puts out a video, Van Balian or Degeneration Nation, I'm almost certainly not going to put out a video about that.
Yeah.
Unless I have a whole different take on it.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, you and Marvel put a lot of effort into the intro and the thumbnails and everything, so.
Yeah. Hey, me and Degeneration Nation, we have a little friendly thing going on between the two of us where when one of the more notable First Amendment auditors get arrested, we try to race to see who can get a video out first.
Yeah. And about that, of the three, Saucet, Moors, and frauditors, as we call them, which do you think is the worst? Which type?
Oh, it depends on how you look at it. The sovereign citizens are probably the worst and philosophically, but the thing is, they don't go out looking for trouble typically.
Right.
They wait for the trouble to come to them. The point that I'm going to make tomorrow night when I talk to Dum Dum Head, what's his name? Amazing Audits, is if I'm a criminal, the last thing I'm going to do is go looking for the cops.
And then harass them too.
Yeah, auditors are criminals that go to find the cops so that they can break the law in front of the cops. Yeah. How stupid is that?
Yeah, they go auditing with warrants.
Yep.
Yeah, like the guy that was in my video today. He had a warrant, and he goes to the jail, which at a minimum, I could say in his defense, that's pretty efficient because at least you don't have to take a long car ride. You're already there.
Yeah.
So, points for that.
What about the Moors?
The Moors, yeah, Bruce Baker just said it. Moors are the worst. And I think that that's probably true because they just go full idiot mode with it. They do
because they have a real true believer thing.
Yeah, they're true believers. They're bought into it. They do the liens and all the paper terrorism. Multiple different courts have said this is nonsense. It's a very easy way to go to jail, and Tracy, whatever. We'll just call her Karen Bay. She's in jail. Her partner's in jail. They do all this nonsense with these liens and all this stuff. And, I had the video, and then Natalie did another video about it recently with the one more that was using his child or his baby, as a human shield.
Yeah, I've shown that one too.
Yeah. If you're not subscribed to Natalie, then
she's awesome.
you're doing you're doing the wrong thing. I'm gonna have her on again very soon because
I'd like to interview her.
She said yes to that.
You asked her about that too. Okay, cool.
She's I think you have her email. I think I sent it to you. Yeah, she said definitely she would be happy to come on here and do an interview.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have another female in the watchdog community.
Yeah, the Moors are really over the top.
They have the religious aspect to it, and that's what makes them more dangerous as well, because they think it's their birthright, and they
they think that the U.S. is Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen Morocco. I've sailed past it and said, "Look,
it's Morocco
off of our starboard bow. That's Morocco."
That's exactly the thing.
The thing is, they think that in the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, we gave them this land as Morocco.
No. Artie has pounded that into the ground.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, he pounded it into dust, snorted it, and
that was like one of the best parts of watching any of his debates with the Moors is his face throughout it. It's
yeah.
priceless. It's priceless. So,
But yeah, that's how I got to where I am now. Was just making a concerted effort to only put out a video when I thought it was a good video.
so if you had to pick one of, you seem to really have a hate on for the frauders. If you had to pick one that you said was the worst, who would it be?
Glen Serio.
Yeah, without even hesitation.
Yeah.
And now,
The
You
racism, man, it's just too much.
yeah. Yeah. You don't go out and scream the N-word at a cop and tell him that he's a slave and then make another video where you say that you never did it.
right?
We have the video of you doing it.
Remember the video where he says to,
Go ahead.
remember the video where he says to the female cop that she must have sucked her way to the top and stuff like that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
He's disgusting. He really is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's not it's not that clear cut because he's got a hell of a lot of competition.
mm-hmm.
We got Ass Elmo,
He's horrible.
who we got News Now Houston, convicted child molester. I mean, how many are there? There's no shortage.
Most of them are criminals.
Yes, they're mostly convicted felons, and they're almost universally horrible human beings.
And what shocked the heck out of me was the one who's not a criminal. I think is the worst, and that's Glenn. He's the only one with a clean criminal record so far.
Who's this? I'm sorry, I
Glenn
missed that last
Serio.
sentence.
Glenn Serio is the cleanest of them all when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Not
Well,
clean bodily.
I think he got convicted of this that he was this reckless driving that he was fighting so hard. I think I saw something where he got convicted of that recently.
Oh, good. That's great.
The one that he said that he was going to leave the country. He was going to, renounce his U.S. citizenship if he got convicted of it. So we can look at that.
But
somebody brought up a great point. Eric Brandt.
Oh yeah,
my God.
He's the one I'm looking for personally because he lives in the same town as me. And
yeah,
I've been on the lookout for him for quite a while.
Yeah, Eric Brandt's another one that said he was going to leave the country.
I wish he would.
And he told the judge that he was going to leave the country, and he still hasn't done it.
And here's the thing, for either of them, I invite them to do it and try this shit in any other country.
Yeah. Go down. I would say
Panama,
Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
No, Saudi Arabia. Go to Saudi Arabia and try to do a First Amendment audit.
Try it with the police of vice and virtue they have there.
Yeah.
Wouldn't end well.
Yeah, just so you know, in Saudi Arabia, they have a plaza where they weekly do beheadings. So,
nice.
Yeah, that's why there's no Karens in Saudi Arabia.
They got something right, I guess. But
yeah,
with Glenn, you see him the way he treats police officers as well as every human being on Earth. We saw him with the nurses that day. And
God!
He'll turn around and he asks them for help.
Hey, can we not go as far as to praise Saudi Arabia's social practices just because you can't First Amendment audit there?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't praising it. I was just saying go there and try it.
No, he's saying we should. But
No, I'm saying we shouldn't.
Okay, so we know that you're going to be talking to Amazing Audits tomorrow night. Any others you're lining up or trying to line up?
Well, I went back and forth with Glenn Serio on some emails,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to the point where he knew what my channel was. He had looked at it, and then he had asked, "Well, what day do you want me to come on?" And I proposed a date, and ever since then, it's been radio silence from Glenn. So I don't know, but I'll talk to each and every one of them as much as they want. I'm happy to talk to any of them because fundamentally, at at the root of what they're trying to do, they're counterproductive. The whole basis of their tactics is screwed up. So I don't have anything to fear by talking to any of them
Oh yeah.
because I can show them this is your goal. I mean, back to basic military tactics. This is what we want to achieve. How are we going to achieve it? Here's the tactics that we want to use. Is that going to achieve this goal that we want to achieve with this mission?
But having said that, do you think they're really after that goal?
No, I don't think, and that's the dishonesty in the whole thing is they want clicks and views.
Exactly.
They want the PayPal, they want the super chats, they want to get arrested and then beg for bail money
and sue
and lawsuits, and they don't explain to their audience that okay, you're giving me $5,000 in bail money. When I actually show up for court, that bail money is returned. Are they returning it?
Oh, yeah. I hadn't ever thought of that. You're right. You know they're not.
Yeah. A lot of people in chat are saying that I'm super loud and you're super quiet.
She's always really quiet.
They always say that.
So,
don't worry about it.
Is there any way you can turn SC's audio down a little bit, or no?
No, she can't.
I can on my end. If that's what people want, I could turn my mic down.
No, it's not going to help me be louder, so don't worry about it. I'd rather hear you anyway.
Can you re-explain what you were just saying, though, Schrodinger?
Yeah. So these people and Josh Abrams was famous for this, and PayPal Patty does this too. They get arrested immediately. Them and their subscribers or their acolytes go on YouTube and start begging for bail money.
Yeah.
So they can get them out of jail. Well, the thing about bail money is when you show up for court, the bail money is returned to you. It's just held in escrow in case you don't show up, you lose your bail money.
Yeah, it's a scam.
So they get the bail money back. Did they ever give it back to their subscribers that donated it to them? No. Absolutely not.
Not only do they probably not, but they probably collect bail money for bail costs that don't exist in many cases.
Yeah, I think that's actually been shown a couple times that they didn't do that. So
disgusting, man.
They collect all this money. They collect money for lawyers' fees.
Yeah.
For lawyers that they never
don't
get.
Exist, right. They're very much like flat earthers in that respect too.
Blind Justice's wife took out a $50,000 loan supposedly to pay his bail.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was Blind Justice. Oh, that's another one that is just. He agreed to come on and talk to me, and he's another one that went radio silent. After he agreed to come on and talk to me.
It's like when Glenn
Yep.
What, Robert?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, what?
I was saying you have to ask yourself, what did he do to warrant $50,000 in bail? Because when you bail bond, you only pay 10% of that bond. So that 10%.
Nobody's saying that's what it really was. She asked for that. Nobody said it actually was
her lie. Like,
is it just me who doesn't hear him?
I hear him off and on.
You're roboting, Robert.
I know that Babe, I know that nobody's saying that we believed her. I'm saying that there are people that did believe it.
Right.
And I can tell
And
just from
donated.
the claim that there's no crime that a First Amendment auditor committed in the process of First Amendment auditing that granted a $500,000 bail bond.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
no,
if that would be the
the
only
charge
situation where you need
was
$50K.
Thank you.
failure to appear.
Yeah.
So
It's not gonna be that much. But
yeah.
can you mute yourself,
It'd probably be like
Robert?
when I'm talking.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were done. The car was going by. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Blind Justice, that's an ongoing story because there's a whole lot of holes
In
in
his
his whole
story.
thing. Yeah, whether or not he's even actually blind, the extent to which he's blind.
His service.
Oh God, his service. No, he wasn't a Green Beret. Um,
Where
I,
do
I
you
can
think
just,
that's gonna fly? That story.
I don't know, but there's so many holes in the whole Blind Justice story. But he has rabid supporters, like people that
Why?
I don't
Why
know.
do
People are
any of
that
them?
stupid.
Their
The
content
same,
is just it's laughably boring. Silence. Nothing.
yeah,
Blind justice denotes blind support.
There you
yeah. I've watched a lot of his stuff, and this is my frustration with a lot of First Amendment auditors.
go. Mm-hmm.
I sit there for hours upon hours watching your content, and it's
Mm,
like watching paint dry.
yep.
And I have to pull out the from watching, 3 hours of First Amendment auditor content. I got to pull out 10 minutes worth of actual entertaining
Yes.
content. Why can't they edit their
Edit their
fucking videos?
shit. Exactly. Uh, One reason I don't do more videos is because when I was working on them, I got so crazy from having to watch these people that trigger me. Anyway, over and over again for so many hours to try to get those little minutes out because they don't edit their shit and there's
Right,
45 minutes of just looking around at the stupidest things and no narration.
right. And that's the frustration that I have is
Genius.
I
It's
don't put
genius
out a
on their part,
video.
though. They get good.
Robert, you talking over him now.
I don't put out a video if I don't think that my 10-minute video is going to be 10 minutes worth of something that people want to watch. They're happy to put out a 3 hour
Oh yeah.
video where nothing happens. Glenn Serio had a video of a UPS truck pulling, or it might have been FedEx, pulling into a parking lot. The driver got out. He went into the building. 10 minutes later, or however many minutes later, he comes back out, he gets back in the truck, and he drives away. That was the entire video.
No.
Oh, there, I'll show it to you. Nothing happened.
He
And
didn't
Nothing
people
say
happened.
anything?
No, he didn't. That was the entire video.
and people
Like,
think they're out there fighting for their rights and all this crap.
Oh
yeah,
my god.
but it shows a fundamental lack of pride
Yeah.
in their content. Like I would never
Oh,
put that out because my subscribers would watch that, and then when the next video comes out,
they won't
because
watch it. Yeah.
they always clickbait the title.
Oh yeah, they do.
Um, I don't want my subscribers to see me put out a video like that, and then the next time I put a video out, they're like, "Well, there was that last one, so am I even going to bother?"
But
You know?
it shows also not just a fundamental lack of pride, a lack of respect for their viewers.
Right. It's like if you own a Subway franchise,
Mm-hmm.
are you going to make shitty sandwiches sometimes? No.
Exactly.
You're going to put out a good product each and every time as best as you can. Uh, they don't seem to care about that. And that's why you see a lot of channels and amazing audits that I'm talking to tomorrow night. is a great example of this. He has 3,000 subscribers, not terrible. The 3,000 subscribers,
Hey.
that's respectable. Go look at the number of people that watch his videos.
Right.
He has,
Right.
it'll be, go back as
400.
many weeks as you want,
Yeah.
but 100, 200, and the next one will have 100, the next one will have 400.
Yeah.
If I'm getting fewer views than I have sailors, sailors. I saw somebody type sailor in the. If
Stop
I
looking
have
at the chat.
fewer, yeah, I was looking at the chat. If I have fewer viewers than I have subscribers,
Yeah.
I feel like that's a failure
Yeah.
on my part. I should have as many or more views as I have subscribers. Auditors don't seem to care about that. They'll put out just any old shit content. I don't know what their goal is.
I get that sometimes when they go out, nothing will happen because nobody is going to challenge them or whatever. They just ignore them. Whatever.
Yeah, then
Don't put
don't
that
release
video
that
out.
video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let me yell at my subscribers for a minute. At least a very, very small portion of them. My most recent video that came out, I put it out yesterday, or at least I scheduled it as a premiere. And I got 3 or 4 comments on it before it premiered that said, they were mad at me that I was premiering it instead of just releasing it. And
What?
2 of those people said that I'm losing subscribers by premiering videos. Now, your first thought would be these people must know what they're talking about by making that statement. So why is it that when I looked at their channels, one of them had 54 subscribers and the other one had 2? I appreciate your comment. I've made changes to the way I do things based on comments before. But when you're going to tell me that I'm losing subscribers by doing what I'm doing, and you have 54 of them,
Yeah.
it's almost like you own a restaurant that nobody goes to, and then you go to the Ruth's Chris Steakhouse to tell them how to get more clientele.
Right.
Sorry, not sorry. I'm not taking your advice. I like doing premieres because I like to interface. Yeah, I like to interact with my audience during the premiere. A lot of my audience likes to come to the premiere so that they can interact with me and each other while the premiere is happening. So thanks for your advice, people that don't like me doing premieres. I'm not going to take your advice, but thank you anyway. I'm going to get down on my soapbox now.
Okay, good. Well, no, I was about to say, is there anything you want to bring up that I haven't asked before we get to the question?
But I did want to say that one thing.
Okay.
About, just because I saw that this morning, and then I just go and I look and I'm like, oh, these people have to have like 500,000 subscribers if they're giving me advice on,
It's like these people who tell Radical he talks too much or something, They just want to see the video without any interruption. That's not that channel.
Yeah.
Right.
Plus, that's a great way to get a copyright strike.
Exactly.
And Natalie had that. Natalie had that same thing where people told her, just play the video. And she started saying at the beginning of some of her videos, this is a commentary channel.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. But
ridiculous.
Nobody, like, I'll be more interested in your advice at that level. If you're just saying like, I don't like this thing that you said or something like that, yeah, you can have 0 subscribers and I'll listen to that. But if you're telling me like a technical aspect of how to run the channel, how to get more subscribers, at least demonstrate to me that you know how to get subscribers before you're going to tell me that.
Right. No, I totally agree.
Yeah. So
It's just if you want, to me, it's funny that they are saying anything about entertainment that they're getting for free, right? That they come here. I go there to Radical's channel for his take on things because I think he's funny. I go to
right,
yours for your take on things because I think you're interesting and funny too. You know,
right.
that's why we do it.
Radical just said in the chat, premieres are better for promotion. I agree.
Hmm.
And he said, just don't set them 2 days in advance. I absolutely agree with that.
People get, yeah.
I like yesterday I made that video and I uploaded it as unlisted. And then right before I went to bed, which was like 1 a.m. Eastern time, is when I set the premiere. Well, because yeah, you don't want to. I've had that happen where other people have
Hmm.
had a premiere or like a debate, like live stream scheduled, and I see it's like 4 o'clock, and then I go click on it at 4 o'clock, and it's like, oh, it's like
Tomorrow.
4 days.
Yeah, I hate
It's
that.
like it's like 4 o'clock 2 days from now, and
Yeah.
that's disappointing.
Yeah.
So yeah, do not set a premiere like days ahead of time. Just make it unlisted, and then when you get ready, you know, do it. You know, I would say like 6 hours ahead of time would be ideal.
You and Radical are so much more organized with that than I am. Lord knows, everybody knows that mine go up, and I'll send the notification and the link out moments before I go live. I'm just not that organized yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me, I need to set up the debate after we're done here
No, you
for
don't.
tomorrow.
No, you don't.
Oh, you already did it?
No, but I'm a manager now, so I can just do it for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You can just sit back, relax, and just show up for the date.
that's that's
That's cool.
what I that's what I pay you for.
There you go. You got it, boss. So, Cliffy, you want to start with the questions?
Sure, we got a few here. So Not a Brat please ask SC, what is the name of that robotics school?
Oh, for your son.
Oh, I would have to say I didn't know, except that I actually bookmarked it. Let me open up my bookmarks.
Cool. That's the
Yeah,
type.
I would have absolutely no idea.
Good thing you did that. That's the type of thing I love for kids. You know, educational toys, this type of thing. I saw a computer that kids can build. That's cool. Give them a second to find that. We're waiting. Oh, what? Now he dropped. Okay. We lost him for a second. Hotel Wi-Fi probably. We'll get him back. He'll jump back.
Apparently, when you check your bookmarks, you drop off the meat.
Yeah, right? Hey, Magical. I didn't see you come in. How you doing?
Yeah, Radical's been here ever since we came back.
So you didn't know? Did you know or did you not know that I, I dropped completely the sound? You remember that sound that was not hooked up right to begin with? I'm back in the plugged into my microphone. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, OBS did a hiccup.
Yeah, we'll have to start fiddling with it again at some point when we have the time, right?
I don't know if I should fiddle. I don't know. I need something that's gonna make me louder.
All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm an absolute moron.
No, you're not.
I I went to click on the link for this robotics school, and I didn't realize that it was going to remove me from the.
Really? It did?
Yeah, it tried to use the same window.
Oh, gotcha.
but I had bookmarked the link to the school, and I just put it in the chat.
Okay, good.
Now, you may have to, when you click that link, you may have to do a bit of searching,
Okay.
because I have a specific class pulled up that was going to start that has already started. So the link was no longer good, but so I just took the beginning portion of it.
Okay.
And if whoever was asking can't find it, then look on one of my videos, go to the email that's in the description. Yeah, and email me, and I'll find you a more specific one. Sorry, I just dropped out of the whole show.
Before we go on, Radical, I know we fixed it, sort of, but then they couldn't hear Schrodinger, and I went back and messed it all up. We'll talk later. Next question, Cliffy.
All right, so got a couple more. Richard Norris asks, has SC ever gotten components, etc., from NSWS Crane? I live near there.
Oh God, yeah, we used to always get stuff from Crane. I'm trying to think where.
Right?
Crane, no, we got aviation stuff from Crane. I'm trying to think, is Crane, Indiana? Am I right there, Chuck Norris?
Yeah, he's from Indiana, so.
Yeah, Crane, Indiana. A lot of components come from there. So yeah, I'm very familiar with Crane.
Cool. Aniceto Maldonado asks, for SC, burgers or tacos?
Oh, I don't. If I had to pick, I don't know. That was on. Oh, they had the whole debate about burgers versus tacos on. What's the cartoon with Beast Boy and Firestar?
I don't know, honey. I don't know.
Oh,
I gotta know what Robert says about this after you answer. Go
ahead. I can't remember the name of that fucking cartoon.
Is it an anime thing? Because it was anime.
Teen Titans.
There you go.
Yeah. They had a whole debate on that cartoon about burgers versus tacos. Now, I don't know. I do love a good burger. Five Guys makes an excellent burger.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, and Red Robin, the one that's got the egg in it. That's an excellent burger. God, I don't know. I'm 50-50, so that's just going to have to be my answer.
Cliff, what about you?
I would have to say I can't choose. I love them both.
If I had to choose between those two particular things, I'd go with a taco. Robert? Tacos?
I love tacos just as much as the next man, but it's burgers for me. There's nothing better to me at the end of the day than a delicious cheeseburger.
Bacon?
It can be on there. It's not necessary. As long as I have meat, cheese, and mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise? Just mayonnaise or mayonnaise ketchup?
I prefer mayonnaise, ketchup, and all that, but I have to have mayonnaise. To me, you cannot have a sandwich without mayonnaise.
There's one thing that might give burgers the leg up, and that's that you get the enjoyment of grilling them.
You'd like to make your own?
I do love. Yeah, I love to go out to the garage, have a beer or two, and grill up some burgers.
Do you mix them up yourself?
Yeah, especially I like dicing up the onions, and when I go to mix up the meat, you sprinkle a little bit of pepper on it,
Yeah.
and you got to mix it all up, and then the onions are inside the patty.
Oh
So
man,
you do
yeah.
that. Okay.
That's how I do
Yeah,
it too, man.
So you don't just see. I'm sorry. I'm not as gourmet as you guys. I just take chopped meat, flatten it out a little bit,
Salt,
put it on the grill. I don't mix it at
babe,
all.
babe. Salt, pepper, diced onion. You can put a little bit of green bell pepper, but it's unnecessary. Some people do that. But diced onion, some breadcrumbs,
yeah.
and
Breadcrumbs make it. Yeah, the breadcrumbs hold it together better, so it doesn't like how sometimes
Yeah.
you go to flip it and it breaks in half.
You don't
yeah,
use egg yolks?
cracked
Um,
egg.
That's a.
I use
yeah,
the
you
whole
can use
egg.
a cracked egg in there.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. That's a meatball, guys.
I use the whole
Or
egg.
meatloaf, at least.
I use the whole egg, and then some Worcestershire sauce.
That's a meatloaf.
Babe, I understand that those are the same ingredients to make a meatloaf.
but you don't grill a meatloaf; you cook it in the
Thank
oven.
you, thank
Alright,
you.
It's
well,
a different taste.
my grandmother used,
Worcestershire sauce is great and everything like that.
It's just the best. I love Worcestershire sauce.
my grandmother used to make meatball patties for us. Basically a meatball, you flatten it out. And
Or a Salisbury steak, right, babe?
no. To me, it's not the same thing at all. A meatball is not a Salisbury steak. But we'll talk about that later. Next question.
Okay, last question, then we got a few comments.
Okay.
So, Tammy Bone asks, what's a flurf?
A flat earther. They
Really?
used to say, yeah, well, she's new to this.
Yeah.
They say earth instead of earth, ERF. So somebody along the line started calling them flurps.
Yeah, it's shorthand.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, we got another question just now.
Okay.
I saw that. Yeah. Go ahead and read
So,
it.
Kev Welsh asked, SC, do you think the soft sit movement is waxing or waning as we move into 2021?
I think it's waxing. And the reason that I say that is because there seems to have been an explosion of it with the whole the whole QAnon thing,
Right.
which is not that's basically almost the same exact thing. You've got Flat Earth Fokker that had his trouble with the law when he refused to quarantine, and his answer to that was to go full soft sit. Like he bought into everything. He got a soft sit guru that's helping him. He started up his own court. Yeah, he started up his own court that he says is now superior to the court in whatever province he's in.
BC.
Guys.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Oh my god.
I think that Schrodinger hit it perfectly. Soft sit and Moors and all this is all is currently on an explosion similar to what Flat Earth went through a couple years ago, especially on YouTube and in social circles. The problem is I think that this has far more staying power because I think that these points, while they are just as easy to refute, you know what I'm saying? Like you could just as easily explain to a sovereign citizen why they're wrong as you can a flat earther. But their rhetoric, I believe, is easier to spread.
And
it's damn hard.
There's real world consequences to their shit.
Right. It's very hard to convince people that the earth is flat. You know, but you can convince people of this bullshit a lot easier.
Lawyers, 2020. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, there's no consequence to being a flat earther. So you can have tons of flat earther pose that don't really believe it. They're just having a laugh.
Right.
You can't be a sovereign citizen Poe because they go to jail.
Yeah.
You know. So, and also if you find somebody like Flat Earth Fokker that's in a bind, I mean, he's looking at jail time.
Yeah.
it's pretty easy to throw him this lifeline, especially if he's as stupid as Flat Earth Fokker is. He's already a flat earther,
Yeah.
so you know he's stupid. So you throw him this lifeline and say, hey, I'm going to teach you all the magic words that you
Right.
need to say in court. Just tell them that they don't have
Jurisdiction.
standing. Yeah, they don't have jurisdiction. Just tell them that you created a court that's better than their court, and that way you don't have to listen to their court.
Whatever you do,
you know.
make sure you call the judge a tyrant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk back to the judge. Call him by his first
I've
name.
never heard
Yeah.
anything so
Because
stupid
that's
as
really smart.
arguing with a judge and pissing off your judge. Why?
I lose my mind every time, babe. Every time that they do that, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah. What are you trying to gain?
What are you doing? This is the guy. This is the guy you're trying to convince
Yeah.
that you want to see things your way, and you're alienating the shit out of him immediately. You see it time and time again. It's like you guys have no couth.
Like being a judge is really a lot like being a captain at sea. You almost have absolute power.
Right.
Like if you're especially a Navy captain at sea can do a whole fuckload of bad things to you. So when they go in court, they call the judge by his first name. They call him a tyrant, all that stuff. It's almost like walking on, you get flown onto a Navy ship at sea. You land, you walk to the CO stateroom, and you just say, fuck you, and give him double middle fingers.
Right.
How's that going to work out for you? You're going to end up in the brig,
Yeah, or telling them they're practicing law from the bench and stuff like that. It's just
Babe,
not nothing to do.
Yeah.
can I add on to what he said real quick? It's exactly like he said though. Just like it's a good comparison to a Navy officer or any officer really. Like there's an ethics involved, but they have full control. Other than that, like they can do whatever they want as long as they follow the professional ethics that comes with their job, and you can't. There's nothing you can do. And I'm sorry, I won't interrupt again.
Don't do it. Okay. Thought she was gonna.
Yes.
No.
Somebody typed in the chat. This is not a real court. It's Admiralty law because of the gold friend or the
No.
Now that's what.
Sorry, that pissed
So
me off.
you worked your ass off. You went to law school. You were a lawyer. You got appointed or voted into being a judge, and then some dickhead comes in your courtroom and tells you you're not a real court.
Yes, it makes me insane crazy. It triggers me.
How's that? How do you think that's going to work out for you? This person that has almost absolute power, that's sitting up there in a black robe, and you just go in there and shit on his bench.
Or you won't even approach. You won't step out of the gallery.
I'm not passing.
Yeah,
I'm not passing the bar.
You go into the well of the court, and you won't go to the podium so that you can be put on record. Oh my God, that's so disrespectful.
It's like going to John Hopkins and walking in the ER, no, not the ER, the OR, and telling the most senior doctor in there he doesn't know a fucking thing about medicine. Like how much more disrespectful can you be?
And they never think of that. They're so, especially I see a lot of Moors doing it, right? They need to feel superior. They need to feel like I am in charge. Like those services, you are my servant, you work for me, I'm your master.
Right.
I've heard them say even. It's ridiculous. First of all, in this day and age, how do you say that to anybody?
Well, what they need to do is they need to go read some Machiavelli, and they need to read The Art of War and find out that when you are the stronger party,
You
a
don't
lot
say
of
it.
times it's really good to make the weaker party think he's the stronger party.
And that's what the judges always
Like,
do, really, by letting them talk like that.
well, yeah, because they've read Machiavelli, they've read The
Oh
Art
yeah.
of War. Like if you go in there and you got all the trump cards, you know all the magic words. Why wouldn't you be super respectful and let
Exactly.
the judge fall into your trap? You
At
know,
least
the
let him
guy that goes
talk.
in there with all the bravado is the guy that doesn't have the strong hand to
Yeah.
play.
It's like the guy who has the power doesn't have to say it constantly.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like the lady that I'm about to make the video about.
Mhm.
And thank you, the person that sent me this video that my next video is gonna be a Karen.
Ooh.
And she says about 4 or 5 times in the video that she's not crazy.
Oh yeah.
If you're not crazy, you're
Hmm.
probably not getting yourself into situations where you need to say,
I'm not
I'm
crazy.
not crazy. Yeah, you know.
Yes.
If
Good
you're the
point.
biggest dog in the yard, you don't need to let anybody know that you're the biggest dog in the yard.
Good point. Good point. Good point. Could be any more questions on?
I got a few comments that I could read.
Go ahead.
I'd just like to say about Flat Earth Fokker. He lives in New Westminster, which is like 45 minutes from me, and his yoga studio is in Delta, where I grew up. So,
Yeah.
he's a little too close to
It
comfort. That guy.
was in Delta. It got
Well,
shut
yeah, it got
down.
shut down.
All right. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, so Causeless Rebel says, SC, I don't care what method you post, I simply enjoy your content.
Aw.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
Beverly Proudfoot says, yes, we like the chat SC Premier away.
Yay.
Okay, and Anna Chato says, SC could make a video of changing a flat tire and I'll watch it.
Aw. We,
Challenge accepted.
I'm telling you, and I've said this before. The people in our chats, and we share a lot of the same people. They're just, I love them so much, and I, I enjoy talking to these people more than ever I had doing other videos. I'm not gonna say which
It's
ones.
funny because I used to say back in like back right after like Ace Ventura and all those movies came out, like Dumb and Dumber and all that. I
Mhm.
said that if Jim Carrey made a video where he was opening his mail, I would watch it, and he would probably find a way to make it where I would be laughing my ass off the whole
Mhm.
time. So I
Mhm.
really appreciate that comment
Aw.
because um, Jim Carrey at his best back when he was making Mask and all those movies was just
That for you. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
So
sweet.
yeah, I appreciate that.
That's really sweet. It really is. Anything else, Cliffy?
One more comment. Mark Baggett says, the premieres are great. People who don't like them can always watch afterwards, whenever it's convenient for them. So
Yeah. Yeah.
people seem to like the premieres.
I always did when I was watching them, and now when I watch them, I don't think I've missed one of yours or Radical. And
Yeah,
it's
I mean it's
good.
with the people that I see that I always know are going to be there. Harley Quinn, Cat Nat. I know you're always going to be there. Radical pops in a lot. Artie's there a lot.
Beverly.
Um, yeah, Beverly. There's I know I'm forgetting names, and
Richard
Richard
Norris.
Norris, absolutely.
yeah, um, there's always a bunch of those people that are going to be there that I know are going to be there, and I
Mhm.
want to say hi to them.
Yeah.
So
These
my
people, yeah.
advice, my advice to the people that hate that, I would my advice to them is start a channel,
Mhm.
work your ass off,
Mhm.
make content that people want to see.
Mhm.
You get 42,000 subscribers, and then you can run your channel the way that you want.
Exactly. Cause seriously, these people become part of our lives, I think, and I look forward to talking to them. I miss them when I don't. So.
Yeah, it's like I schedule a premiere. I mean, I have like told my colleagues like I got to get back to my room. I've got a premiere coming out, and I want to talk to my subscribers while they watch it, and see what they think. Like
Yeah.
I,
You take
I,
time. Yeah.
I sneak away from my real job
Good for you.
to to come do this. So, if you don't like the premiere, like whoever said,
Kick rocks.
just wait a little while and you watch it whenever you want. The premiere is not the only time that you can watch the video.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
Before we go, if you could do this full time, would you quit your job to do this full time?
I've thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is no. And that's because I would be constantly terrified because at any given moment, YouTube can just pull the rug out from under you.
Right.
So I'm always going to keep, even if I got to the point where I was making more money from YouTube, and last year in 2020, actually, I made some real money off of YouTube, more than a tiny bit. Like not nearly what I make in my actual job, but if I got to the point where I was making more money on YouTube, I would still keep my actual job because
It can be scary.
they can't just fire me. Like at the end of one of my work days, somebody can't just say today was demonetized.
True.
Yeah, guess what? You just worked the last 3 weeks, but the last 3 weeks got a copyright strike.
Or
Do you mind if I?
Or
Do you
like,
mind if I?
1 second, Robert. Or even with the memberships and Patreon, you worked this month, but you know what? I'm kind of tired of it, or something's going on with something else in my life. You're done. I'm not paying you. That
Right.
kind of thing.
So
Yeah.
it's just too volatile.
It's scary
Now,
because I
if
felt it.
if you're somebody like Vsauce and you have
PewDiePie.
one of those type channels,
Yeah.
that's pretty safe, and you got 15 million subscribers, then yeah, I can see that. But I would be terrified to be somebody like Simon Dan.
Really? Even Simon Dan.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 400,000 subscribers. I know based on what I make that he's probably making a pretty good coin.
Yeah.
But you just never know.
Yeah. Well,
I
He's
believe he's
making
also got a. I believe he also has over 1,000 patrons though as well.
right.
wow.
But what happens to those patrons if YouTube just makes the decision no more flat Earth and just takes his channel
Or
away?
even now, like with COVID, I've seen a significant drop in my Patreons because everybody's hurting, and I'd
Right.
much rather them take care of themselves than help me survive. But that helps me survive. I can't pay rent. I
Yeah.
can't pay internet bills without it.
Yeah.
But like you said, I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah. And I work for a defense contractor for the United States.
Yeah.
That money's not going anywhere for the
No, it's
foreseeable
not.
future.
No, you're pretty
So
secure.
I am very secure in my day job. So I never got on YouTube planning to make money. This was a hobby.
Yeah.
The fact that I've started making money and making pretty decent money as a consequence of it is just a happy
Gravy.
side effect of it.
Yeah.
So if you're going to see me full time on here, probably not, unless something major happens and I end up with 1 million subscribers
Right.
and feel pretty comfortable about it.
Robert, you want to say something?
No, it was covered residually. It came out
Okay,
naturally.
I'm sorry about that.
No worries.
All right. Are there any more questions popping up?
No, I got nothing really.
Okay.
all been done. Yeah.
Then I think we're at the end, unless you had anything else you wanted to.
No, I just
I have
wanted
a
everybody.
question.
Oh, go ahead.
So, for your retirement, was there anything that could have kept you in longer besides what we discussed earlier as far as your regret about leaving early? Was your leaving a bureaucratic decision based on like like I left the army because my unit completely changed after the Bush Obama changeover.
Yeah,
Everything became very. I was in a good old boys unit, where everybody just kind of, as long as everybody was doing their thing and everybody was in line, nobody really gave us any shit. But all of a sudden, everything became about who's going to be signing the paperwork this weekend, and we got to look good for this person and that person. And I just got tired of that. Was it anything like that for you, or you just felt like you put your time in?
No, it was. There was three reasons that I can say that why I left. Um, One, my son was 10 years old, and over the 22 years that I was in the military, I did 9 deployments, which is well above average.
Yeah,
I
very
was
much.
just spending way too much time
Away.
away, you know, from a 10-year-old.
Yeah, that's a
Second, there is an O3E pay grade that I was in that pays more than the O3 pay grade. You got a hot mic again.
Yeah. Good. I muted him.
Okay. Yeah, the O3E pay grade pays more than the O3 pay grade. If I had stayed in and made O4, there's no O4E pay grade. So I would have gone to the straight O4 pay grade, which would have been like a $200 raise. Um, and in order to stay in, I would have had to go to department head school and then go back to sea. And
Yeah.
I hadn't been at sea in like 5 years at that point.
Okay.
And I would have had to go do 2 department head tours before I went back to shore duty for very little return.
How much is that?
When I
How
knew
long
that
is
I
that?
could go, each department head tour is 15 months, so that would have been 3 years at
Jesus.
sea.
yeah, 15 2 years. Yeah,
Um, so I when I retired, I knew that I could first I'd get retirement pay. I got 55% retirement because I'd been in 22 years. I got a
nice.
nice little chunk of disability because of hearing loss and all the other nonsense that happens to you over the course of 22 years. And I knew, I had a master's degree. I was retiring as an officer. I had a technical background. I knew I could get a good job. There was nothing keeping me in other than wanting to just get promoted
Right.
and keep going. And that wasn't a big thing for me. I had spent the vast majority of my career telling people what to do. I'm happy not telling people what to do in my current job.
Right.
Yeah,
We work as a team. We go on here and we do these big projects as a team. I don't have that need that some people have to be in charge and tell people what to do and have authority over people. I'm just not that guy.
yeah.
So, yeah, that's the whole story about why I left the military. There's basically 3 prongs.
Thank you. Thank
Those are so common, man. Like the point you said where like career wise as far as advancement just didn't make sense where the cost benefit didn't weigh. It made more sense for you to stay right where you're at than for you to advance anymore, and people run into that a lot in the military.
Yeah, yeah. People stay and they leave for various reasons. And if I didn't have my son, I probably would have gone to department head school and stayed because, but he was the primary reason.
you.
It's
Yeah.
like, how much of this kid's life am I just gonna,
Oh yeah,
you know,
that's gotta be hard.
stay on deployment for? Uh,
That can't be easy at
it's just,
all.
the post 9/11 military deployed so much, and we
Exactly.
yeah.
What kind of ship?
Pre 9/11.
Oh, sorry.
Oh God, which one?
Oh, really?
It's a hard decision though, because at the same time, the military gives you so many avenues for supporting and raising the child. But like you said, you personally
Never
have
there.
less to do with it because you're not actually there. So it's
Yeah.
a tough decision, man.
So what kind of ship was I on? Keep in mind the last like 5 years of my career, I was on the shore side of the military and the expeditionary and special operations side of the Navy. But before that, I was on the USS Enterprise,
Oh.
USS Eisenhower, USS Kennedy. Then I was on the USS Kearsarge. I was on the Typhoon, the USS Typhoon, the USS Monsoon, and then I was on what's the last one? LPD-17. Somebody in chat help me out. Why am I blanking on the name of it?
Are ships like regional?
USS San Antonio.
San Antonio, yeah.
Are ships regional? Because I know some of them. I don't know some of the other names that you said. Like, because I'm from the East Coast, I know some of them maybe. Like,
Yeah,
are they
normally
regional?
East Coast ships go are for the Atlantic, the Mediterranean Sea, the Red Sea, and then they'll go up into the Arabian Gulf. West Coast ships are basically Pacific based, so it's just what they're closest to.
All right. Well, Robert,
Yeah.
I'm gonna mute you again.
Yeah, I
Okay.
recognize the USS Enterprise, of course.
Yeah, I recognize like I was gonna say
Yeah,
Enterprise. I recognized
yeah.
a few of the
They're
Eisenhower.
actually they're building another Enterprise coming up soon. There's going to be another Enterprise.
Another nuclear powered aircraft carrier.
I think it's going to be an aircraft carrier. The last two Enterprises, I believe, were aircraft carriers. I know CVN-65 that I was on was an aircraft carrier.
Let me ask you a
I think the
question.
one before that was as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a Gerald R. Ford class aircraft carrier.
Oh yeah, the Ford class. That's slightly bigger than the Nimitz class.
Let me ask you a question. When Star Trek would when you were on the Enterprise, remember in one, I don't remember which one it was, but they showed the Enterprise throughout history, and they had the ships, the water your ships, in it, up through into what they had in space. Like when you're on the Enterprise, does anybody talk about that? Like, hey, cool, we're on the Enterprise, that kind of thing. It's gay.
Oh yeah, definitely. When you're refueling or replenishing your ship, um, it's common to go alongside the replenishment ship, and you run lines from your ship to that ship, and like hoist the stuff across, and fuel and stuff like that. And when you're done, and you pull all those lines back across, and you diverge paths with you and the other ship. It's called a breakaway, and most ships will do a breakaway song. Like they'll play a song over the 1MC for everybody to hear.
Oh.
It's just a tradition, and the Enterprise a lot of times would play the Star Trek, theme song.
Why is it that they play the song
though? Well, why did they? Star Trek have that as their theme song? I don't know.
Why do they play a song when they break away? Just cause?
I don't know the origin of it.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure I could look it up, but the origin of breakaway songs, I don't know. I've got no idea.
Can I make a guess?
How old am I?
No. I said, can I make a guess
about the breakaway song?
Oh, sure, God, because I don't know whether you'd be right or wrong.
Common sense is leading me to think of, like, instead of just blowing your horn to alert everybody on board that the movement's commencing, you just play a song instead, just for fun.
No, that's not,
Nah.
because you could just make an announcement.
Yeah.
Actually, they do make an announcement when they're doing the breakaway. So
How close
I
are
don't
you to
know.
the other ship?
I don't know on carriers how close you are because I was never on the bridge for those because I was an enlisted guy. When I was an officer on Kearsarge, which is about half the size of a Nimitz class carrier, which is still a gigantic ship. It's 40,000 tons.
Oh my god.
We would be 100 feet, which is close enough that think of you're going down the interstate at 60 miles an hour next to another car going 60 miles an hour, and you're about 2 inches apart. Like, that's literally how close in nautical terms that is, because it'd be very, very easy.
Oh my.
And it's happened. You can watch. There's YouTube videos of it, of ships that are alongside doing at sea refueling and replenishing that crash into each other.
Oh.
It's really uncommon because we're really good at it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it does happen. It's like when you see the Blue Angels and they're flying, and
Wingtip to wingtip. Yeah.
yeah, wingtip to wingtip. Um,
Ooh, yeah.
we're that good at it. But I was on a ship where we almost crashed into the refueling ship, and that's because the oiler, and they're civilians.
Oh.
They're merchant marines, and the helmsman, um, she was ordered to do a right rudder, and she did a left rudder.
What? Oh man.
And I think we
Panda
came
girl.
20 feet.
Oh my
I think we came
god.
20 feet from each other,
Oh
and
yeah.
it was pandemonium. I mean, they sounded the collision alarm. Everybody that was outside came inside the ship because
You don't fall off.
when you're that big, you there's no fender benders, you know.
I can imagine.
With a ship that
Yeah,
size, it has to look like you're so close.
Yeah. What
it,
do you?
it does.
Go ahead.
It like I said, it looks like you're going down the interstate and you're 2 inches from the car next to you.
Shit.
And these things don't turn on a dime.
Mm-mm.
So it was only because the master um, of the oiler and our command team that we had on the bridge was just that good that they were able to part these ships without colliding.
What do you call parking a boat? Because
Docking.
Docking.
Because it reminds
Docking.
me of this when you're doing that, right? There's a show I watch, and it's a super yacht, and they back into it, and
Yeah,
it's
that's not uncommon.
so because it's regular, next to him, there's all regular boats and speedboats and smaller yachts. This thing looks like it's got to really wedge in there, and like it's getting like inches from each side. It's nail
Yeah,
biting.
yeah.
You're lucky, kid.
We're not amateurs. I mean,
Yeah, that's where you earn the big bucks, is what I'm saying. Because that's
yeah,
crazy.
you got to know what you're doing
Yeah.
on ships that they're really really big. You'll have a harbor pilot that will come out and come up on the in the pilot house, and his job is to advise the captain on that certain port. He's an expert
Okay.
in that particular port,
Right.
and he'll make recommendations. I mean, nobody comes on a ship and tells the captain what to do, but his role is as an advisor.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
and aircraft carriers, amphibious ships, the really big ones like that, and all that, they'll have tugboats that help push them, to the pier. When I was on the Typhoon class patrol coastal ships, they were 185 feet long. So think of like a yacht. We parked those ourselves. We didn't use tugboats or anything, but still, it's a pretty well orchestrated event, to get yourself alongside a pier without crashing into it. So it was a lot of fun. I think I saw a couple questions pop up.
Cliff, you're muted.
Okay, sorry. I got another one here for you. So, Carrie G says, Schrodinger's cat, I heard you were in Hawaii for the submarine base. Have you ever been to the submarine base or any of the bases in San Diego?
No, and I just was talking about that last night because I know that we have a couple jobs coming up in San Diego, and I was kind of throwing my hat into that. It's like, hey, I'd like to go to San Diego. So
Wait, you haven't?
So you're not
you
assigned
haven't-
necessarily to that job yet.
So wait, you haven't been to the nuclear vessels?
Stop.
yeah, from again, Star Trek that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
No, my company does a lot of jobs in San Diego. I've just never happened to go to that. The way we get assigned jobs is basically like I don't know where I'm going. When I'll leave here probably Tuesday, Wednesday next week and fly back to the mainland.
Mhm.
I don't know where my next job is yet. So
Yeah.
I find out anywhere between a week to 3 weeks before I go on my next job where it's going to be
Wait
at.
a minute. I remember, like, I think it was for this particular trip. Didn't you find out like a couple of days before you went?
No, I found out it was right before or right after Christmas. I found out that I was coming out here, and we left on the 4th of January. So it was a good 2 weeks, which is on average about when I know where I'm going next. So
You poor thing.
you gotta be flexible doing this job. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if I got a call tomorrow saying, "Hey, what do you think about going to San Diego in 3 weeks?"
Yeah. Cool.
Or I might find out that I'm going to Egypt in 3 weeks.
I was gonna
Like
ask you if you do anything international.
I haven't with this company yet, but we do have international jobs
Oh, neat.
that we do in Egypt, Israel, Guam, which isn't exactly foreign because it's a U.S. territory.
Right.
Yeah, all over the place. We have a foreign travel.
Do you,
Like, go ahead.
when you're like back to the Navy, when you're on a ship and you go, this is gonna be stupid. I think you don't need your passport, do you?
No,
Okay.
your military ID is the U.S. military ID is good worldwide.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's a.
So I did have I had an official passport when I went to Bahrain, one of my last deployments. So there's 3 different type of passports. There's a your standard tourist passport's brown, and official passport's blue, and then I think there's a diplomatic passport. I don't know what color that one is.
I think they're red.
They're
Aren't they?
brown, the official passport?
No. The tourist
Tourist.
passport's brown.
I mean, the tourist. I don't remember having a brown passport. I'm
I
sorry.
could be wrong.
It's
I
been,
mean,
it's been a long time for me. It's been a long time.
I've got one, but I haven't looked at it in a while. It's in my
Right.
safe at home.
I
But,
thought American passports were blue and Canadian ones are black. So
no. We have 3 different kinds, and they're 3 different colors.
Yeah.
okay.
But I had a blue official passport that I used when I went to Bahrain because the only reason I needed that is because I flew all around. I went to Qatar, I went to Kuwait, I went to
Okay.
Iraq. I flew all over the what they call GCC, the Gulf coastal countries. I spent that whole 6 months flying all over the place around there.
So when you're on a ship, right, and you pull into a port that you're gonna be at for a while because you're, whatever. You get to go on and off when you're not working, doing your duties, right?
Yeah.
All right. So has anybody ever like missed getting back on time when you're
Oh
on a
yeah.
Yes.
ship?
Oh
No, I'm
yeah.
talking about in
Yeah.
his when for him, like he's witnessed it.
Yeah. It's called missing ships movement. There's an actual official phrase for it. Um, and especially on aircraft carriers, I mean, there's 6,000 people on there
Oh wow.
on a deployment between the ship's crew and then all the people from the air wing. So yeah, you got 6,000 people on there.
Right.
There's been people that they just hook up with a girl and they're like, you know what, this chick's the bomb. I'm not going back. That
Really? On
happened.
purpose?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'll happen. I mean, especially near the end of a deployment, you got a sailor that he's saved up $10,000 because he's not paying any bills and
Right.
all of his paychecks are just going to the bank, and he thinks $10,000 makes him rich
Right.
because he's an idiot, And then he hooks up with this girl the fifth month of deployment. Yeah, that's happened. You got the guys that go to jail
Really?
because they get drunk and they act a fool. And typically, we're the U.S. military, so typically we can get them back.
Okay.
Just go in there and there's lawyers that come on board with us, usually from the flag staff that work for the admiral, and usually they can go to the police station, flex a little bit of U.S. muscle, and get them people back. There's been instances where that doesn't happen because the charges are just so severe.
Oh really?
Um, we had two guys one time, and this wasn't a deployment that I was on. It was another ship, but when we would pull in to, I can't remember the port. It's near Bahrain, or it's near Dubai, but it's not Dubai. But it's about a 45-minute drive to get to Dubai, which is an awesome city.
Oh, I'd love to go to Dubai.
Yeah, no, Dubai was awesome. And so these sailors, they took a cab, they went to Dubai, they got hammered. They're taking the cab back to the ship, and one guy starts puking in the back of the cab.
Uh-oh.
And the cab driver pulls over and tries to kick him out of the car.
Oh.
Well, they're hammered American military people,
Right.
so they beat his ass.
No.
Leave him on the side of the road, and take the cab and drive it back to the ship. Get on the ship, and the ship gets underway. All that the cab driver knew was it was two Americans that beat him up. He couldn't really describe them beyond that. They had nothing. The police had nothing. The ship gets underway, they're scot-free, and then they start bragging to their buddies.
No, that's terrible.
That they're the ones that did it. Like, just pure stupid human stupidity.
How dumb.
Got them
That
caught.
happens so much though, right? People tell themselves.
Yeah, they told on themselves, and
idiot.
so yeah, they had to face the music for that. Like, you embarrass
It's the ugly
the United States. Yeah, you're going to be held to account for that. So I don't know what ended up.
Them, man.
I don't know what ended up happening to them. I'm pretty sure they didn't spend time in a Middle Eastern jail, but I'm pretty sure they spent time in a military jail.
If you are late for the ship's movement, do you get
that's a pretty severe charge. Yeah, you're gonna probably lose a pay grade for it.
Even if it's like mistake or something.
If it's a legit thing, like, okay, your mom died, if it's that you overslept, you're probably going to lose a pay grade over it. If you intentionally did it, then you're going to lose a pay grade. If you're even stupider, and before our deployment, when I was on USS Kearsarge, the guy and his wife conspired to shoot him in the leg and then say that they had, a home invasion, and that's why he was shot in the leg.
Oh no.
The
I've heard of
police
that.
figured that out. The police figured that out pretty quickly. He ended up with a other than honorable discharge from the military. There's one legit way to get out of a deployment, and it's not legit, but a lot of people do it. And there's two ways. Well, one way to get away with it, you have to be a female, and then step two is you get pregnant.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of female sailors just so happen to get pregnant
Right for tour time. Yep.
right before deployment.
That happened in the military too. When we got activated my last time to go to Iraq, there are like 60% of the females in our company fell pregnant. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it just happens.
Yeah.
Nobody planned that out.
That's the problem. Nobody plans. That's stupid though. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty significant hit on operational effectiveness when a percentage of your crew is gone right before deployment. People that you've trained for the entire prior year are just gone, but there's no consequence for it.
None?
You can't prove that she planned that.
Oh shit, that's hard.
And it's
absolutely hard.
And it's politically toxic to accuse her of it.
There's nothing you can do.
Planning it.
That's terrible.
They like to.
No.
My unit did on the slick though. Punished them. They put them on the shitty skeleton crews on back home while everybody else is gone.
It used to be. And this is before I joined. I think it stopped right before I joined the military. If you were a female and you got pregnant, you were automatically discharged. And they stopped that because I guess that wasn't politically tenable.
Why? It makes sense. You made a commitment to the military. They spent lots of money training you. That's wrong.
Right. And so
does it make more sense to waste all that money and kick them out?
There should be a punishment, is what I'm saying.
I just don't see how you can do it.
You politically you can't. And it's just
that's a big grenade.
I mean, you're playing with your own career if you accuse somebody of that. So
Robert said there are consequences, though. They do sometimes put them on shitty duty for that.
The limited, it's called limited duty, or light duty, and it's not always the best, especially if you're a junior enlisted person. It's not always going to be the best thing, because you're going to go to a non-operational command.
Exactly.
No.
You should lose a pay grade.
You can't. You can't do it.
I'm just saying. That's what I feel. I know you can't.
But we agree with you. If you could prove that if you could prove it and you could do that, we actually agree with you.
I'm talking about not even if it was on purpose. I'm saying even if it was a mistake, it's called protection. You've got all kinds of prophylactics. I'll just leave it there.
Yeah, but think of all of the think of all of the groups of activists out there.
I know what I'm saying. But I'm just saying, to me, anti-feminist that I am, I think it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said at the outset, that's the one way to miss a deployment that's untouchable.
God damn.
Yeah.
You can't even insinuate,
Yeah.
except behind closed doors,
Yeah.
that anything wrong happened.
Nobody's willing to die on that hill.
No, not.
Yeah. I got a question from Richard Norris for either Marvel or Robert. He says, I need to have someone build me an intro for my channel. He's willing to pay.
DM me. We'll think. We'll
Yeah,
think about
message Marvel. We can definitely see if we can help you. She's
Cool.
good at that stuff.
So, I think that I've asked all my questions, and apparently the chat has too. Schrodinger, please plug everything you have to plug when you get a chance. Schrodinger?
Yeah, sorry. I heard that there was a question for you two, and I took the opportunity to be AFK for
No.
what I thought was going to be a minute.
That's okay.
But yeah, so there's the debate tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with Amazing Audits. I'm going to have a premiere. I don't know if I'm going to actually have it done and ready to premiere tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, ahead of the debate. If not, then it'll be 6 p.m. on Monday, Eastern Time. But definitely show up for that one. This Karen is insane. A lot of Karens that we see are customers. This Karen is the employee. She's such a Karen that she not only gets fired during the video, but the police escort her out of the McDonald's that she's getting fired from. And I got it from a very reputable source.
Wow.
That I'll get into. I don't want to do any spoilers, but you get to see a Karen be a Karen, get fired for it, and get escorted out of her place of employment by the police. So definitely when you see that pop up, show up for that. That's all I have on my horizon.
Awesome. I can't wait. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Yeah, so I can't thank you enough. I'm so sorry about all the mess ups tonight.
Oh, no worries. There's another
smooth.
question.
Oh, there is?
Devin Schiff is asking me, do you think he'll actually show up this time or get arrested again?
Oh boy.
I'm not so sure about getting arrested again, but we are not sure that he's smart enough to do the time zone conversion.
Yes.
Because I told him 8 p.m. Eastern time, and he's in Nevada.
Oh boy.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he's not
2
smart
hours
enough
late.
to be able to do the time zone conversion. So no guarantees this guy's going to show up tomorrow, but we're hopeful because I do want to taunt him relentlessly and shame him for being a horrible human being.
I don't think you told them what he was saying in your chat today.
Oh no, he was whining about that. I guess we were picking on him and talking about his family. I don't know anybody talking about his family except to say that he's a deadbeat dad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anybody talked about his dad or talked about his family.
No.
We talked about the fact that he's not taking care of his family. So I don't know. He can whine about that tomorrow when we talk. We'll figure it out.
Okay. Yeah, he was basically saying that we wanted to roast him. We roasted
Well,
him
we
'cause he
basically
didn't show
do.
up. Yeah, well, we do.
Yeah.
But we roasted him last time because he didn't show up. It was on him not to get arrested. It was very easy, guy, to not get arrested. I do it every day, my entire life.
Yeah, I've spent 45 years,
Not getting arrested.
365 days of all those 45 years not getting arrested.
It's amazing.
I'm pretty good at it.
Wow. Were you gonna say something, Cliff?
Yeah, so Not a Brad has one more question. He says, if a man wants to be home for his child's birth, can he get leave at least?
Nope.
Not if you're on deployment, typically. If it's a high
Unless there's
risk,
something complicated, yeah.
yeah, if it's a high risk pregnancy, then sometimes they'll make allowances for that. But the best you can hope for on an underway Navy ship is that they let the new dads, when they come back in port, they're the first ones that get to leave.
Oh,
They
yeah,
get to
cool.
walk off the ship, which is not,
Oh,
not
you
that
mean
great.
just? Oh, I thought you meant like they're the persons who get leave when you come back. You mean they get to leave the ship first when everybody leaves?
Yeah, they get to walk off the ship first, and everybody makes a big deal about it. And if
Oh,
it's an aircraft carrier, something that big, then it's a media spectacle, and the news cameras will be there and everything
oh,
whenever a Navy ship comes back. Um, that's about the best you can hope for.
yeah.
Yeah, I've missed Christmases, birthdays, children's birthdays, uh,
Funerals.
funerals. Yeah, my grandma died when
My
I
grandpa
was.
died.
Yeah. So unless it's immediate family, you're not getting leave for that typically.
Oh man.
Um, unless you can, like if your grandma raised you
Yeah.
or your
Gotcha.
aunt or uncle raised you, then you can get off, get leave for that. But
Right.
otherwise, no. Devin Schiff says on my boat, the first off was called the first kiss. Yeah, that's what we called it as well.
Cool.
Sailors would do that. And yes, there were raffles. Um,
No.
or yeah, there was raffles for like they would have. So it would be the new dads
Uh-huh.
would get to leave first, and then there would be like some raffles they did typically on like a Saturday night or Friday night.
Yeah.
They would have game night. They would do bingo and stuff like that, and then there would be like some of those raffles you could pay into, and the money
Okay.
would go like to Navy Relief or something like that.
That's neat.
Um, and then they would do it by pay grade. So officers got to leave, and then they would do the chiefs
Well,
would get to leave the ship, and then it would be E6, E5, E4, E3,
right.
so on, so on. So
When you say like thinking about it,
that's
6,000 people on a ship, getting to be the first one off, that does save time. A lot of time, I would think.
oh god, it would take hours to get people off of the ship when
Yeah.
on an aircraft carrier. Because I remember when I was a really junior guy, when I was like an E3, E4, I wouldn't even go gather up all my stuff once we were pierside because I was like, it's going to be hours,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I knew that those select people were going to be able to get off, and then all of the officers, and then all of the chiefs, and then all of the E6s,
Yeah,
it's like
down to
it's going to be
you.
hours, you know.
Right.
I'm just down there watching TV, just hanging out, waiting.
Cool. Cool. All right. So, all right then. I mean,
Hey
I could
there.
sit here and think of more questions all night, like, and I do have a bunch of questions. We'll have to get you back for those. You gonna say something, Robert?
I was just about to say that I need to be going.
Oh, okay. Thanks for coming.
I'll wait if
Oh,
you're
okay.
signing
Yeah,
out.
I'm signing off. Um, yeah. So, because I was gonna ask if like there is TV on like those ships and stuff, and like, is there TV on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
submarine?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
No, no, not on submarines.
I was just wondering.
Um, No, they have the pre-recorded
Oh,
things. They play movies and
and
things
then
like that. But there's just no way to do it. Surface ships have satellite. The bigger ones, like when I was on patrol coastal ships,
yeah.
we didn't have the satellite TV. They may by now because I've been out of
It's
that game
evolved
for a
now, yeah.
while. But they may by now. But back then we were only ever underway for a week or so at a time.
Oh,
So we would just download a bunch of TV shows and we would
right.
have them on flash drives, and then we would all just somebody would download these shows and somebody would download these movies and someone would download other
Right.
shows, and then we would just all trade off flash drives back and forth to each other.
No, what about Wi-Fi?
Yeah, the guys with the
No,
No Wi-Fi?
again, I don't know about modern.
Right.
Um, I haven't been on a ship. The last ship I was on was 2011. So 10 years ago was the last ship I was on. If they did have, I don't know how you would have Wi-Fi on a giant metal ship.
You'd be inclined to say no, though, right, Shro? Because they would have to
Almost certainly. And then
How do
you
they-
have
Good.
you
Just like
have you have operational intelligence problems with that.
Yeah. Yeah. I
you
get
probably
Um,
would have like a room on the ship where you could go every day, like an MRW, you know,
MWR is what you're
MWR.
thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and maybe something like that where there's a room of computers where guys can go sign and like get
check
like
your
30 minutes or
email and
something.
stuff.
But
You couldn't
running
do.
Wi-Fi through one of those ships like that would be almost
So
impossible without completely gutting it.
when you were on the ship, you couldn't. How did you contact home?
Email
So how'd you do that? There's no Wi-Fi.
through you log in on your unclassified internet. You have a .mil email address.
They have
And
internet, but they don't have Wi-Fi.
yeah, you can get on the internet, and then depending on the command that you're at, you can get on Gmail from your unclassified side
On what though? On your phone? You
internet.
have your phone with you, or?
No.
Your laptop, phone.
Through your computer, your military computer that you do all your business on.
Okay.
You can log on and get on your Gmail, or what I typically just did was from my unclassified, not on one of the classified computers, obviously, but from my unclassified .mil email address, I would just email whoever I needed to email, and they knew. It's kind of it's not a bad thing. Like typically, from my work email, I don't do anything personal at my job here. But in the military, it's kind of like sometimes your only option. So the command doesn't frown upon that, and you can just send an email to your wife, to your brother, sister, cousin, best
Okay.
friend from your
Yeah.
.mil email address.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
we're basically what we're saying is they have internet access on the ships, like they can plug in to the internet, but they do not broadcast like Wi-Fi for
Yeah.
you to
Okay. Gotcha.
wireless connect them. They don't
So you
have all
couldn't
that.
have a phone.
Yeah.
Your phone will not work.
No,
inside of the ship.
no. Your phone's not going to work inside the skin of a ship. Think about it. This is a giant steel ship.
Yeah.
You have no
Uh,
signal inside the
Do
ship.
they
Yeah.
have phones anywhere that you can use though?
Hmm.
Yeah. When I was on, especially the patrol coastal ships, the only way that you were getting email off the ship when I was on there is we had one email address. Of course, this is back in 2008,
Right.
so I'm sure it's changed by since then. But the ship had one email address. So in the subject line of that email address, whoever was emailing you had to say who specifically they
Oh
were
my
emailing.
God.
In radio, they would download all those emails, they would sort them out, and then they would send them internally to your internal
Wow.
email address, and then you could read them, make an email, send it back to radio with the email address you wanted to send it to, and then once, twice a day they would send all those off. The second way was a satellite phone that we had. We had once. Well, no, think about it. We're on a 185-foot boat. Ship. When we pulled in port, you could mail snail mail. That's how I mailed my absentee ballot. But we didn't have a helicopter's not landing on a 185-foot ship.
Right.
So we're not getting mail on and off like an aircraft carrier does, where you're getting mail 2-3 times a day because helicopters are landing, aircraft are landing, bringing all this stuff.
Yeah.
Carrie G said, "I heard you can get thrown in prison for having a phone on a submarine. Is that true?" That's absolutely true. Not just for you'd be in trouble for having a phone on board, but a fairly prominent news story several years ago, a sailor took pictures on board his submarine.
Uh-oh.
He never sent them anywhere, never published them, did anything with them. He actually deleted them, but they were able to determine that he took pictures
Yeah.
on board the submarine with his phone, and he did some
OPSEC.
time. He did some time in jail for that. Yeah, it's a major OPSEC
Yeah.
violation.
OPSEC, baby, all day.
Yeah,
What?
OPSEC is a huge thing on
Operational security, babe.
on submarines. Operational security,
Like,
yeah,
is
huge thing on
everything-
submarines.
Is everything about the submarine classified? About the inside of it, I suppose?
Well, not
No, but
everything. I mean, you can go on Wikipedia and find out a lot about submarines. There's documentaries about them and things like that. But you got to be pretty brave to go take your cell phone on board and take a picture of one. I mean,
yeah,
Yeah,
they
you
want to
have
be
it.
able.
if you have an Apple Watch, you have to take your Apple Watch off before you go on
Okay,
board.
yeah.
Um,
I guess I should have
Blue-
asked you.
even Bluetooth earpods, you can't take on board. Even though, what are you going to do with Bluetooth earpods? But you can't have them on board.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, there's no electronics
Wow.
on board beyond a God. What is electronic that you can carry on board? I have an endoscope.
You can have
One of
like a
those-
tape deck, right? Like a Walkman.
Yeah, old school stuff like that you can have. Yeah, you can't have any smartwatches. Somebody put no smartwatches.
If it says the word smart in
Wait
it,
a minute,
no.
wait a minute. The endoscope is a camera.
Yes, but I specifically bought a camera that has no capacity to record. If it
Only
cannot
live.
record,
Oh, okay, gotcha.
because we work on very small electronic server cabinets, and sometimes every now and then you drop a screw behind it. You got to be able to find it. So I got to feed this camera back through there to find out, what's going on. So I'm allowed to have that, but that's the most sophisticated electronic thing I think we can take on board.
Okay.
Now, there are laptops on board, but they belong to the ship.
Yeah.
They're cleared. They have all of the software and all of the prophylactics
can't-
against being able to
You
do
can't
anything.
do anything on those computers. You can't even check your email.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can check your .mil email, but you can't go to AOL.com or Gmail.
Right.
You can't do nothing.
All right.
Yeah, Devin
All right,
Schiff
so that was-
seems to be
Yeah,
pretty up to date on his submarine stuff. He knows what PED is. That's a personal electronic device. Those are the things that are super
No.
controlled. Yeah.
So what would you do
You
in
know-
your spare time?
They have stuff for recreation for you to do. On a submarine, nothing.
Well, books, movies that MWR provides. Sailors are allowed to have their personal laptop on board, but only in berthing areas. So they can have their movies on there, provided that it's kept in the area where they bunk.
Sleep? Okay. How much
You
area?
can't
Yeah.
bring it.
How much space do you have there?
All right.
It depends. If you're on a boomer, if you're on a fast attack, very little. If you're on a boomer, a little bit more.
I gotta go, babe.
Not much.
Okay, we're wrapping it up. Because like I said, I could go on forever.
Yeah. These topics we could talk about all day.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well, like I
especially
said
OPSEC.
before, thank you so much for bearing with me and hanging out. Everybody come back tomorrow night because I'm really well, not here to his channel. I'm really looking forward to that because I promise I won't say anything during it, but afterwards Schrodinger gave me permission to say something to him, and I can't wait. And then yeah,
Yay.
and hopefully maybe we'll be surprised and Glenn might say yes. Right?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm still checking the email.
Will you, Glenn?
please, Glenn,
Say
for once
yes,
in your
Glenn.
in your life, be a man. Grow some balls.
Say yes,
Take a
Glenn.
shower and then come on the show.
He's probably lurking right now.
I wouldn't be surprised. He's probably following Schrodinger around. All
He's
right then.
splurking.
Cliff and Robert, did you want to
Adios.
say anything?
I want to say thanks again. This was great. Love you, Shro. Great job. Can't wait for your debate tomorrow night. And I hope the guy shows.
Thank you.
Yeah, me as well. I'm gonna get
Starting the
extra
chat.
hammered just so that I can be even meaner to him.
Cliffy, anything?
Yeah, I'd just like to say it was good times. Thanks for all your questions, everyone. And thanks, Schrodinger, for coming. And everyone have a great night.
Schrodinger, one last time. Do you want anything you want to say?
Yeah, Harley Quinn reminded me again just now in chat to look up Smarter Every Day submarine piece that they did. I'm actually going to do that tonight because I've been meaning to do that. I slipped my mind and you just reminded me. So I'm going to do that tonight. And yes,
don't
Devin
forget
Schiff.
to cut the balls.
Yeah, Devin Schiff, I am going to get extra hammered for the debate tomorrow night. That's on top of normal hammered.
I was gonna say I have my own homework for the night.
And what is that?
Some movie I'm supposed to be watching because apparently it's important for me to see some silly movie called the big what's his name?
Lebowski?
Come on.
Lebowski.
Come on.
I was gonna say I was gonna mess up that name. The Big Lebowski. Apparently, not seeing it is a problem.
Yeah, if you're still here, I want you to shame Marvel Girl for having never seen The Big Lebowski.
Oh,
That to me
God.
is a sin.
All right. Well,
Even I've seen it a couple times.
a couple? My God. All right. So, thank you all for coming, and we'll see you tomorrow night on Schrodinger.
All right. Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye from beautiful